Okay, now let's talk about xref and refs. So Alpine got directives and also the magic components, and the xref is a Alpine directive, but the refs is an Alpine magic component. These two are kind of orcs combinedly. They cannot orc separately. That's why we need to actually see how to use them both. So what it does is the xref, we can use the xref to mark an DOM element. The DOM element is basically everything inside an HTML body. So it can be text, it can be a div, it can be a paragraph. So everything inside the HTML body is a DOM element. The DOM or DOM stands for Document Object Model. So xref can mark a DOM element. We can apply the xref inside an Alpine component and give that a value to mark it. Then we can use the refs, which is the magic element or magic component in Alpine. We can use the refs to grab that component, mark with the xref, and do our modifications or DOM manipulations. So let's see how we are going to use them both to do something. So let's say we got a div as an Alpine component. In order to make it a component, let's use the xData. I'm just going to keep this blank because we are not going to get any data in here like variables and everything. So inside it, let's create a paragraph tag and put some dummy lorem ipsum text like that. Okay, we got our text. Now let's say we want to create a button here, and when we are going to click this button, it is going to remove everything from this paragraph tag. So let's put a text here, remove, because that is what the button is going to do. So when we are going to click this button, this is going to remove the DOM element. So in order to do that, we at first going to create an event here. So on click, something is going to happen. So before doing that, we need to actually mark this element, which is a DOM element, and we want to mark this by using the xref. So just put xref and give this a value. Let's give it a value of text. So we are going to grab this element in here by using the refs and also by using this value. So in order to get or grab an element, we at first need to mark it, then we need to use the refs here. So we need to use a $sign refs, refs, then put a dot, then the value of the xref. We have given that particular element, then we have the value of that ref. Actually I can just show this to you by using the console without commenting it out. Let's just use the console.log here and see how actually that gives us back. So I'm just going to inspect it, open the console here. So this is our console. So we want to console the refs, and if we click it, we can see a proxy, but this is kind of empty now because we need to actually specify the thing we have targeted with the xref. In this case, it got a value of text, so we need to use the refs dot the value. Let's save, and now if we click it, we can see it has grabbed the entire thing, like the entire paragraph tag with the class and everything, with the text and everything. So that's what the refs does. It is going to take everything marked with the xref. Now if we can actually get anything from here, like if we select inner text, let's save, and if we click, we can see the inner text from the paragraph tag marked with the xref. So you can do basically anything. And with if you are familiar with the vanilla JavaScript and you have done DOM manipulation before, you know that the JavaScript got a get element by ID or query selector all kind of methods. So this is kind of the Alpine version of that, but in this case you actually don't need to type this all out like get element by id, then the id name. You are just going to select or target that with the xref and then grab it by using the refs, then dot, then the value you have given to that particular element. So you can we are going to remove the element from the DOM, so you can actually use the remove method of JavaScript. And you already know that you can use vanilla JavaScript things inside or with the Alpine.js. So now refs, then the text. Now we got this element and we can use the remove method just like this. Let's save, and if we click it, this is going to remove the entire thing. If we select the element and see, so now the paragraph tag is totally gone, we cannot see anything. If we refresh it and see the body here, inside the div we got this paragraph tag with the text and the button. Now if we click it, it is going to remove the paragraph tag entirely, because that's what the remove method does in JavaScript. Let's see another example. Like this is going to be some kind of focus or input field. So let's say we want to add a button and an input field. When we are going to click that button, this is going to focus on the input field. So let's declare it as an Alpine component, and now let's put a button here. Let's say focus, and then let's put an input field type of text. Okay, so I'm just going to comment the first one out. So we got a input field and a button of focus. So when we are going to click it, it is going to focus like this. So if we click on the input field, it kind of looks like this, and now we can put our text or anything we want. But we want here is whenever we are going to click the focus, this is going to make the input field focused. So at first we need to keep the input field a xref, otherwise we are not going to grab that by using the refs. So let's make it name it input, or maybe name. Okay, now this is going to be some kind of same like the previous example. Let's select use the click event, because when we are going to click the button, something is going to happen. Now we need to use the refs, then we are going to grab the input field, and then we are going to use the focus method of JavaScript. Let's save, and now if we click the button here, this is going to focus our input field. Okay, this will come handy in practical projects. So where we are going to create the accordion in the practical project section, we are going to use this practically, so you actually get an idea where you can actually use this in your practical projects. So this is about the ref and refs, and now in the next video we are going to talk about the iteration or looping through a array by using the x for method or directive of Alpine.js.